The following Let's Play has been rated for mature audiences only. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found... Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, it didn't happen. Today we are going to marry somebody because that's a pretty big deal, marrying somebody. Which is why I'm going to do it. Now, if you can tell by that little question mark that was sitting there, I am currently playing in test play mode because I want to finish flirting with pretty much everybody. And to do that, I need it to be nighttime. And I really don't feel like waiting for it to become nighttime. So what I'm going to do... Let's see... There we go. I decided to do that because I want to become instantly night and not have to wait for it to become night. So, I don't know if that'll break anything, hopefully not. I'm going to go ahead and flirt with this person because I haven't already. What is this strange magic? You seem to have me under some kind of spell. And there we go. Which leaves one more person. And for that, we are going to set it back to day. Really hope that doesn't break anything. Now, that leaves this person, who I think we already flirted with in the last episode, so I'm pretty sure we already know what flirting with him is like, but I'll get it on screen anyway. Yeah, we already flirted with him last time, and it doesn't change. Which brings up the question of, what do I do about who I want to marry? Obviously, Fristy is not an option, partly because I'm not really interested in marrying another woman, and partly because, in order to marry her, I need to get rank 1 on the musician's quest, which I did not. So it comes down to between the elf and the Tang brother. Well, here's my line of thinking. Aside from doing this, there is no way of making it instantly night. If it's nighttime and you want it to be day, you can just go to bed and there you go, it's day. But if it's daytime and you want it to be night, unless you cheat, you're just going to have to wait for it to become night. So there's a real conflict of interest there. And that's a conflict of interest that I'd rather not deal with. Though at the same time, if I just play in playtest mode for the rest of the game, then it wouldn't really be that big a deal. I can just go into playtest mode if I wanted to become night, and that's how I'd see my guy. But I think I'll just stick with the Tang brother and not have to worry about cheating all the time. So that's who I'm going to ask to marry. And besides, I've become quite a big part of the Tang relationship. I mean, I built that statue for their grandfather, and I've helped reopen their grandfather's restaurant. So yeah, it's already like I'm part of the family, so this is the family I'm gonna go with. Please forgive me for whispering, but this is a very delicate matter, and I'd like to keep it between us. You see, over the years I've grown very fond of you, and I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. What I want to say is that I think that we could... That is, that we have something very special. Yes. Yes! Heh, I didn't think you would ask, but I'm so glad you did. Yes! Oh wow, I can't believe you really asked me. Yay! And if I flirt with him again, just out of curiosity. Wow, you are so hot! And it's that message again. Wait. Hey, I mean, that's a lovely ring on your finger. So you have found a mate in this small city? Yeah, you. Interesting. I don't think you haven't scripted quite right. Oh, I hope I didn't just break something. I probably did. Excuse me a sec, I'm going to go ahead and reset. The reason that I'm worried that I might have broke something, actually, there's two reasons. The first is, by skipping around the time, did that mess something up? So this time I loaded the game on the regular play mode, and did not cheat my way through time, so I waited for it to become nighttime enough in order to do flirt with the night elf. But along with that, I don't know how Obright has the quest completion programmed. I mean, is it programmed so that it only gives me rank 1 if I have the exact amount of maximum rank points? Or does he have it safely made so that if it's the exact amount of maximum or above? I don't know that. So I'm worried that by getting those extra rank points, it might have made it so that, according to the game, I don't have the maximum, therefore I can't get rank 1. I'd rather not find that out the hard way, so instead, that's why I reset. Also, let's see here, how much money do I have? 97.70. What happens if I go outside? Because it's nighttime now. Sort of. No, it's probably going to be the same because it's evening, but it's not necessarily night. What happens if I... Are there going to be new people in the Cask and Anchor now? Yep, there's people here that are usually here during the... are usually out there during the day. These are the other 3 people I cooked for. Hey! Thanks for helping to open the tavern again. I didn't know what we were going to do without the Cask and Anchor. Well, you've been doing without it for like 10 years or so. It's the only place to eat in town. The food here could be awful and people would still come for that reason. But the food is great. Did you really figure out how to make those dishes from Mr. Tang's old recipes? That's cool. And... Tonk no talk. Tonk eat. Spicy sea creature. Plenty of water. Gulp, 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 gulp. Ah. Now Tonk eat rubbery tentacle nest. And lastly... Well, hey there! Did you come for some food? I came for the pork cutlet. It's my favorite. So I hear you figured out how to make these dishes from Mr. Tang's original recipes. That's pretty impressive. You must have known a thing or two about cooking already. No, not really. I'm just that good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and flirt with the night elf again. Actually, I'm going to wait here a moment for it to become officially night and see if I get any money, because I'm supposed to get money now that I've opened the Cask and Anchor, whenever it becomes nighttime. There we go. It's amazing how far into night it has to be in order to actually be considered night. The stars have already been out for a while now. But let's see here. Yep, I have 98.70 gold now. So I do in fact gain money whenever I'm out here at a certain time of night. Now the next thing I have to wonder is, do I have to be out here at a specific time of night when it turns night, or can it be at any time during the night? I'll have to find that out some point. But anyway, let's go ahead and flirt with the night elf, and then I'll figure it out from there. By the way, a random note about this song. For some reason it stops whenever you leave the house. It doesn't continue outside. I don't know what the deal with that is. It's kind of jarring. Not that that's a big deal. Also, it's entirely RPG Maker 3's fault. Alright, we are back to where we were before. I have completed the quest, romantic quest, for real this time. And I have accepted Hai's marriage for real this time, and now I'm trying to find out if he says anything that I'm married to him. If it's anything like Zinnia, probably not. But at the very least I can ask around town and see if anybody else says anything about this marriage of ours. Oh, and I found out that getting the extra points for the rank It doesn't hurt anything. So, no big deal there. Now then, the first person I'm going to talk to is my father, because he's my father. He should probably know that I just decided to get married. That's kind of important, you know? So let's talk to him and see how he reacts. Nope, he doesn't actually say anything about my marriage. Why does he... what? There needs to be stuff about my marriage. I mean, that's kind of significant that somebody says something about my marriage. Well, what about his sister? Does she say anything? You didn't tell me that you had gotten married. I mean, that is a beautiful ring you're wearing. So who is the lucky person? Really? Really? So apparently the only people who would actually acknowledge that I got married are the people that I flirted with, and it's their, oh, you have a ring message, like he tries to give me whenever I flirt with him again. Are you sure you don't, like, mention this in, like, flirt? Or chat? Nope. I don't even feel like talking to all the people I flirted with just for their ring message. I want acknowledgement of who I married, not disappointment. And kind of think of it, I already turned down Althea. Does that mean her ring message is going to disappear? Nope. I mean, yes, it is. So, I already talked to her about what after I had gotten married to Zinnia. So, I know something changes with her, but for the most part, I don't know. Actually, there is one person that I do know reacts to marriage, and that would be Ursus. As he's not replaying the message about marriage, so, let's see, chat? No, he asked about the restaurant. Kind of think of it, I haven't talked to him about the restaurant, so let's see here. Hey, I hear you've opened the restaurant again. Good work. I understand that wound up being quite an undertaking. Well, I'm glad you bothered, and everybody else feels the same way. Cheers! And then an old message. Okay, I know he has a message about marriage, because whenever I was searching his scripts that one time, I saw a message about marriage. Alright, here's the message I was talking about. Hey, congratulations! I hear you just got hitched. Well, I guess our flirting days are over, huh? I mean, don't stop, but it can't ever go further than that, unfortunately. Alright, so that's probably the, oh, you have a ring now message. Well, that's slightly disappointing. In that case, yeah, I'm not even going to bother talking to everybody in town, because it doesn't seem like anybody's really going to react to this marriage, aside from their disappointment in me being married. So I'm going to go ahead and see what happens if I have a real child. Now this is actually going to be significant for me, because this isn't adoption, this is actually me bearing a child. And that is pretty cool and exciting. And I'm excited. But if the adoption sequence is anything to go by, I have a feeling I'm going to be somewhat disappointed. Also, I only have 2 trophies left to go after. What are they? The church quest and the trading quest. Wow, we made it quite a ways. Alright, let's see here. Something about adoption. I don't want to do adoption. Or is adoption the only option? Does this mean that I can't actually have a real child? Or not a real child? That sounded kind of cruel. Does that mean I can't have a child of my own? Alright, I'm going to go back to High and see if any of the options do anything. And if not, I'm going to ask Obright. Aha! Alright, I'm glad I haven't talked to Obright just yet, because I started thinking, hey, what if the love of my life happens to be sitting inside my house at night? Because obviously he wouldn't be here during the day, because he's already over there. So now I'm thinking, well, maybe Zinnia would have been here during the night. Oh well, since that marriage wasn't real, it's not important. Now this is where things get interesting. I am so relieved. Well, hello there, my love. Haha, I still can't believe I can say that now. I can shout it from the rooftop. I love you! Ha ha ha. It's just that for so long I had to... Oh, never mind. Let's get naked and hit the bed one time. But first, let's eat. The tavern got a reservation for 12 people tonight that never showed, so take all that you want. Mongolian beef. Yay! Can I even carry that? Okay, good. I can carry that. Restores 300 HP for one person. That's pretty good. I assume that's just one use. I forgot to check that. Not really sure. I can't remember what the situation is. I see like that stars, 2 out of 2. Does that mean 2 uses? Or... I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Alright, well, it gives me this message again. That's how you get more in Mongolian beef if you want it. Alright, well, in that case, let's go ahead and head to the tavern real quick. And see if anything happens when I go there. Alright, so nothing happened whenever I went to the Cask and Anchor. However, I'm not giving up just yet. First, now that it's officially night and not just a dark evening. Nope, that message doesn't change. However, he does talk about going to bed. So, let's find out what happens if I do that. It's a good reason to sleep in this bed instead of the one at my house. At the same time, that's a good reason to have both the house, or that, my dad's house, my old home. I can still sleep there if I want to, and I guess that would be a good way to avoid having a actual baby of your own if you wanted to do adoption instead. Just out of curiosity, is there going to be like an event here somewhere? I thought I saw something. Yeah, there's one right here. Let's see if I can trigger it. There it is. Oh, or is that just him? Alright, well, obviously that's not something, so let's go ahead and get in bed together. That sounds fun. Where's he getting all this beef? Here's hoping. Anything? Anything? He's still here. But of course he's not saying anything because if I do this, he's gone. Okay, well, let's see if child information gives me anything other than adoption. Nope. Ask me about adoption. Alright, I have searched the code, at least what I think would be important in the code, and I cannot find any information on actually having my own child. Just adoption. Also, this shows where people would be if I tried marrying somebody else. They are both in here and in the smaller part of the building. For those of you curious. But anyway, since I cannot find any information on actually having a child, I'm going to have to ask Obright about it, because looking here, going down to high, his only message is that one message about eating. And there's no other pages, there's no other branches, although I noticed that you can have different meals depending on I don't know what. Is there at least something on the bed? Well, there are 2 pages to this bed event, and I can't really tell the difference, but neither of them appeared to have anything to do with having a child. So yeah, I'm stuck. I'm going to have to ask Obright, and I'll come back to you momentarily with information on what the heck I'm supposed to do if I want a child of my own. Or if it turns out that adoption is the only option. Oh, and for those of you curious about what Zinnia would have said had I talked to her at night here. Good evening, sweetie. I made something special today. Here, take as much as you like. Share some with your friends. After you eat, we can get some rest. Or not. Hee hee. And then we can get something from the cask and anchor again. A variety of things. Wow, that's a bunch of stuff we could get. What's with all those branches? I don't know. But anyway, I'll be right back with information from Obright. Hello, everyone! Welcome back to... Oh, wait. Never mind. This is still the middle of the other episode, isn't it? It's been a few days since I last recorded. I had a little bit of a difficulty getting a straight answer out of Obright. And the reason for that is he thought he had it right, and in fact he does have it right. The problem is, when we go to this child information option, it focuses on adoption. But as it turns out, the butler really is involved with getting pregnant and that sort of thing. But the focus is on adoption, and so that is why I was confused, and that is why I could not actually figure out how to get pregnant. Because I know this is going to sound strange, but I've been looking forward to becoming pregnant the entire game. And now I'm going to be doing that. Although if it's anything like adopting, it's probably not going to be that special. We're just going to have a black screen and it's going to say, couple years have passed, and then I'm going to find my son or daughter in the other room. So let's go ahead and do that. Kind of interesting that the butler is involved with me having sex with Hai, but whatever. Almost 2 years passed. Yep, it's the same message. Also, how long has it been now since we originally started this game? Starting from whenever I was first brought to the orphanage. Alright. Off to the waiting area where my child awaits. Is it going to be the same child? Probably not. There's one of 3 possible children. Oh, it's the same child. I wonder what the circumstances are for then of how to get the other 2 children. Alright, well, since we, hold on a sec. Alright. Kind of weird to think that this child of mine, who looks like the child I adopted in the other scenario, actually is somebody who came from my own flesh and blood. Kind of like a paradox or something, or maybe it's just fate. Maybe if I had chosen to be a lesbian, she would have just been born from another person and then brought to me anyway. I don't know. There's like 1 of 3 possible children, and I don't know what the circumstances are for getting the other 2 instead of this one. In any case, since this child is now official, I'm going to go ahead and name this child. And we're going to do this, and we're going to... Let's see here. Hey, by the way, RPG Maker 3, it has keyboard support. The reason I wanted to point that out is because just recently, RPG Maker 3 has been released on the PlayStation Network, so that those who have a PlayStation 3 can use it. However, for some mysterious reason, the PSN version does not have keyboard support. But anyway, we are going to name this child, and we're going to name this child one of my favorite names. A name I like to use online. It should seem familiar to some of you. And there we go. And that will probably be the only time that I use a keyboard during one of my Let's Plays. Well, you never know. I'm thinking about Let's Playing one of the RPG makers themselves rather than games made on them. But whatever. That's for the future sometime. I'm not entirely sure how I want to handle that. But anyway, yeah, it's the same little girl, except now her name is Erica, which actually makes her feel a bit more personal. Because if you recall, originally I just left her as question mark, so she was just nameless. But now, yeah. And she wants to go fishy. And of course, it's going to be that same message over and over again. So, now I am married to Hai, who is at his old house right now. He only comes here at night. I don't know why I had to say that. I mean, you just saw that in this very episode. It has been a few days since I recorded. And now I have a child who came from my own loins. You know, even though the whole pregnancy thing was just a black screen of text that was only 3 lines down, somehow that it makes us feel even more special. That yes, she is my child. That said, there's probably not going to be anything more to her. Probably for the rest of the game, she's going to be just sitting in here, wanting to go fishy. And likewise, Hai, he's either going to be at his old house talking about his grandfather, or he'll be in there giving me some Mongolian beef. That's kind of sad to think that this whole marriage and having a child thing doesn't seem to amount to much. Or does it? Maybe I'm missing something. But I checked the scripts earlier, as you saw, and as far as I can tell, there's nothing to it. Thinking on it, considering the circumstances of how the marriage works, where the person you're married to is only home during the opposite time of the day when they're out and about, I could have very well married the elf guy, and he would have been at his house during the night, and I still would have been able to see him during the day. So that whole argument where I said how inconvenient it would be that I would only see him at night and it's hard to get to night, it's kind of pointless. Instead, we have a situation where I only see Hai at home during the night. But at the very least, he's also home during the day. Not that he's going to tell me much of anything else anymore. Pretty sure I've finished everything I want to with Hai. And also, like I said before, I've already helped out the Tang family a whole lot, what with building that statue and opening their restaurant, so it's only fitting that I become part of their family. Also, I just realized my name now is Zoey Tang. It's kind of exciting. I'm probably more excited than I should be, though. Anyway, with the marriage out of the way, that leaves 2 more quests to take care of. The quest for the church, and the quest to open the remainder of Max's shops. Of the 2 of them, I think I'm going to go ahead and do Max's shops first, and finish the trading quest. I'll save I'll save the church quest for last. Or rather, next for last, because the thief quest is going to be for last, but that's going to be non-canon. So next time, we're going to continue the trading quest and get those shops opened up and probably get back out onto the world map and battle some more. It's been a while since I've done that. I'll see ya then. Can't help but notice how often it is that I end an episode just walking slowly.